I've used a number of different methods of audience feedback, such as social networking. I've asked people in person, I've asked for actual feedback from friends, family, and other students to see what they think of my products. The one that I found the most useful must have been the questionnaires. Questionnaires were the best option as it allowed me to sort of ask the same question a large number of people, which gained me a more average response, something I could analyze and then come up with like definite decisions. When I did this, I found out that most people prefer more action and less sort of interviews, something that drags on. I've also found out that they want to be they want to be entertained. They don't want it to be just something informative, something good for them. Most of the people I handed out the questionnaires to, they wanted to be entertained, which is why they watch most of their media most of the time. From the audience feedback I have received, most of the people said that at the start, after my first draft, my documentary was too fast paced and it didn't actually contain many of the conventional elements of documentaries, which didn't really make it seem like a documentary. So this was one of the main problems. As at the time, I thought I was just making something that's really unconventional, but it turned out that people can't even associate with an actual concept of a documentary. It was just a fast-paced compilation of videos. So it was quite useful that people pointed out to me and helped me realize that I had to include many more conventional elements, such as interviews, which I then followed up with. And after I included the actual interviews and I slowed down the pace of the documentary, the feedback I got was much better. And that way, the audience feedback has actually helped me improve my work. Yeah, I've used social networking quite often actually, but rather than it being like a group sort of chat, it was more of a private one-to-one ways of actually gaining specific feedback I was looking for. For example, I could easily ask the practitioners for what they think of the actual product and how they think it's going so far, whether the actual disciplines were represented properly or not. Another thing I could do through social networking was actually interact with people who already made similar products or made videos who could actually help me, as well as provide me feedback on what I'm doing right and maybe what they think I'm doing wrong. The audience feedback has influenced me as now it helped me realize how important audience feedback actually is. Um, it helped me actually understand that other people, it's not just, maybe sometimes you need the opinions of other people in order to understand what is going well so far and what isn't. After receiving my feedback, I realized that it's not, the actual process is not as quick and easy as I thought it might be. I realized that it might be going back and forth between actually producing and like editing it. So after I may have edited the first draft, I may need to go back and actually change things according to the actual audience feedback I may receive in order to actually produce something that's actually of high quality and something people enjoy actually seeing. A lot of the audience feedback has actually like made me stick to the actual already existing conventional elements of documentaries, as people wanted to see something they're actually familiar with rather than something completely brand new. But however, sometimes people, especially in the questionnaires, they have said that they would like to see much more action within documentaries and less actual emphasis on the interviews and all the other sort of dragging sort of slow bits of the actual documentaries, which pushed me away from the actual conventions.